slow stitching log cabins. Aren't they pretty? So it's so much fun. So this is a slow stitch process that I want to show you guys today. Okay, so what I have here is just a piece of batting, and it's cotton. I'll show you guys, this is what it is. It's just toasty cotton is what it's called. 100% natural cotton quilt batting. And it's lightweight and easy to use. So it's pretty much, you put it in between quilts and stuff like that, and you can machine sew or hand sew on it, and it's really easy to get needles through, and it's fun to work with. And it gives it like a cool, just squishy, fun feeling to it. Okay, so what I will be making out of this is a slow stitch journal. So I went ahead and started these pieces that I wanted to do with you guys, or to do, I did it off camera because it would have just took forever. And I'm going to show you guys today how to construct it and then do some of the stitches through. And then I'll finish just the rest of the stitching off camera. And then we'll put this all together when it's time. Okay, so there's that. I want to make sure you guys can see here. So what I have is a bunch of strips, and it's just pretty much cotton fabric. I use cotton fabric. I got some laces thrown in there just for decorative, like you could see. And then I also did some couching stitch around with just my threads. So all my fun little threads here. Keep your threads, that's what I tell you, because you can do some fun decorative stuff with them, and I think it makes it look really cool. Okay, so let's get started. So what I have is just some strips and squares and different size things. They're roughly about 1 inch or so. Some are a little bit bigger. So I'll show you the build up here. So what you do, this is called the log cabin. You start with a square in the middle. And this does not necessarily have to be perfect at all. That's the fun part about it. It doesn't need to be, you know, perfectly measured or cut or anything. But I do want to show you guys real quick before we start is, like, these are ones done on the machine. And my mom is a quilter, and she's sent me a bunch. I mean, I have tons of just these little partial done squares and stuff that she's done on a machine, and she, you know, did them perfect and measured them out and everything. So this is just a form of the log cabin where you have the square, and then you do another piece and then line it up and then just kind of go around. So this is just kind of a little different view of it all. So I just wanted to show you guys these real quick. So, I mean, they're not traditionally, but it's pretty much the same format, and you can add some other little fun things in there. So I just want to show you guys that what I'm doing, you do not have to do exactly like this. You can always add a little fun piece here, another one there, just have them line up where they kind of fit enough around, or you can even get, you know, pretty technical with it and do some fun things like that. So like you could pause it on here and just look at this and how it's done, and just kind of do that and just get your strips on there. But, you know, you don't have to sew them perfectly like this where they're turned in and stuff. I like it with the frayed. I think it looks really cool with the frayed edges. You know, and then you got little ones like that. So these are just some examples, and I think it's just so much fun. Okay, so let's get started. So you got that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take a little square beside it. So I'm just going to kind of put it together, and you guys will see how it comes together. Okay, so we'll kind of just even that. Let's see, so I have these kind of, there we go. And then you can see what I'm doing. So you do a square and then another square on the side to measure it up here, and then you're going to want to do where it lines up at the top right there. Okay, so you're lining it up. Then you're going to want to find something to line up here that will fit. See, that one's a little short. So then you just dig through to see what you got. That one's a little bit longer. That one's longer. This one was a short one. So what we could do is just totally just do it, and we cut it too. So we can go like this, like that. You can cut it or you can rip it, however you want to do it. So I'm going to do it from here to here. So just do a little cut right there so you can see. So I did the square square and then I lined up the top. Now I'm lining up the side right here. And you want to overlap it because we're going to be slow stitching it. So you're going to want to make sure to put this down, overlap it about, what, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, probably 1/4 inch seam allowance is always a good one. Rule of thumb. So just make sure you're kind of doing that. And that's probably why that fit here. There we go. And then do that. Okay, so you're just going to make sure that you're lining it so when you do stitch through, it stitches down to the next one. Okay. Let's see. You know what I was thinking would be fun? So I like taking words from the fabric, like the, you know, the end cuts like this that have words on them. And like this word, inspirations. I just thought that was really cool. So I like to incorporate words in there. But with this one, you can't really see it. But it says sunrise. So here. So I'm just using a micron, just 0.5. Okay. So I'm just gonna outline it real quick. Because I think it's kind of fun to put these end cuts on there. So it's just a creative outlook, how you want to put everything together. And once I show you guys like the basic here, you can go with it, you know. You can just keep going and do some fun creative squares like I showed you guys. And see where it takes you. I mean, really. So you can see just the sunrise. So let's just go like that. Okay, then we line that part. Now we're going to line this part up on that side. Just seeing if I have smaller scraps here. So I'm just overlapping them. So it's just a fun little log cabin. I mean, it's just a great way to use up your scraps. I mean, a great way to use up your scraps. Okay. That's why I keep everything. Okay, so you're going to want to go like that. So just move that over a little bit. Okay. And of course you guys can pin along the way, but I like the fact about the batting that it sticks pretty good to it. I mean, that's why I like using batting. It sticks nicely, but you can go through and just pin it after we get it all situated, because sometimes I got to move it and see if I want to line it up different, like that's a little crooked. So just however your preference. Okay, so you got that going across there, which that's a little short. So we need a little bit longer one. And then see how this one's a little bit thinner. It's like 1 inch and a 1/2 an inch. It's a little over 1/2 inch, so you can use that too. Why not? They all don't have to be 1 inch. So you're just wanting to make sure you line them up enough. That part you kind of want to make sure that it looks pretty good. You know how it goes from there to there. You want to line those up. Okay. Now we're going to do this side. So you can see the pattern here. I mean, it's pretty simple. And then you just find your fabrics that'll fit. If it's a little taller, that's no big deal, because you're going to cover it. You know, like I can cover this part up. Like, I'll line that up though, because that's a little crooked. So when we get up here, I'll just make sure to line it up, and I'll show you. It seems like I'm going crooked with it. No, maybe not. Okay, so now the next one, I mean, you can throw some lace in there if you want, but I don't want to cover up my sunrise. Okay. I had some smaller pieces, but that matches. You don't want to, well, you can match if you want to, but I'm having fun just doing different colors here. Okay. So we're just going to go from edge to edge. Line it up. Okay. that. That's pink. So you just kind of look and see what you got. I mean, on here, I could go ahead and do this because I want the decorative to show. So I can go like that. Okay. Now you can see how that's a little taller right there, but you just gotta just line it up like that, and there you go. This is just super relaxing, just to sit and, you know, it's satisfying really to use up your scraps and make something pretty. Oh, it's a little long. I could probably use that somewhere else. Ooh, does that work? I think that'll work. It's a little short on the end there. Let's see, maybe this one. It's almost the same size, but I think that one's a little longer. There we go. Let's do that one. Okay, now we're getting to the outer pieces. So you're just going to want to line them up. Like that. Oh, I don't know what I was doing. Gotta line it to the edge right here, like that. There we go. And then there, right there. Okay, so there's that one. Does this work? Ooh, let's do that. Just kind of lining it up to the outside of the batting here. And the reason we're cutting it instead of leaving it is because you just don't want it super thick. You know, like if that was there and then you laid another one over the top, then you're just sewing through a part that you don't need to. And keep these, because this is going to be a start to another one. At the, you know, so keep all your fabrics for sure. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. Like that. Just lining it up. And I just make sure I'm not cutting my batting when I'm doing this. Don't do that. Okay, and then this one, I love how fluffy it is. I think it's great. Okay, and then it is a little bit there, but that one's a little lighter, so it kind of brings it together. So let's do this part. Okay. Line her up. Like this can go over more. This brown one. Okay. So you'll see. You'll just start seeing how you want it. And there is no wrong in this. Okay. So now take all your little scrappies, put them to the side for another log cabin. So there we go, guys. I mean, that's pretty much the basics of a log cabin. It's super fun, isn't it? And then now we got our pins that are buried with my threads here. And let's just pin it. We'll just go through, I mean, here, we'll pin both of those. just get it pinned down however you want. Okay. Like that. So after we pin it and get it where we want everything, you can go through and do like an invisible basting stitch, or you can do a basting stitch where you cut it off afterwards, where it's got the longer on the, you know, the front. So however you want to do that, and then I just go through and do running stitches and some, what did I do? I did some seed stitch, so that's a seed stitch there, and then I did some cross stitch, and just some, I did a blanket stitch on the edge here all the way around. I didn't do this part because we're going to connect. I want to connect those two like that. And of course running stitch all the way through. So I'll show you guys little examples of all that. So let's just get this stitched or pinned down here. Okay. And I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna do a basting stitch on this today, but maybe okay. Maybe I will. I'll just do a quick basting stitch just to keep it all together here. So I'll show you how to start it on camera, and then I'll go off camera and finish the rest of it, and then I'll come back and then show you guys the fun stitches here. Just different stitches that you can add to it and make it your own. Super fun. Okay, so I got it all pinned. Now I am just using cotton floss here, just embroidery floss, and it doesn't matter, just whatever you use. I mean, I got all different colors going on, no rhyme or reason here. Oh, but for the basting stitch you can use here we go. I just have some regular, let's just do this. This will be for when we do the fun stitches, because you don't need anything fancy or anything just to do a basting stitch. So this is just something that came in a kit. I mean, it really isn't anything special. It's just some thread, just some regular like sewing thread. And I'll show you guys real quick. Okay, so you're just gonna start wherever you want on the edge. Okay, and we just make sure we do that. So you're just gonna wanna go here. Oops, I pulled too hard. Whoops. And then just do an anchor. Oh, I keep pulling my knot through. Okay, and then just do like a little anchor stitch here, just so your knot won't come through. Okay, and then just pop right back up here. Okay, there we go. Now you're gonna just do a small, just like that, or actually you start with a back stitch. So just go like a couple threads here and just go back stitch, come about an inch or so and just pop it up just like that. Okay, then you're just gonna do a little back stitch, just a little bit, just like that, right behind your first stitch, and then just go about an inch. So you're just really tacking this down to get the needles out. And then on the front here, you can see that you can't even really see it. So we can just stay in there. You don't need to cut them out or nothing, because it'll blend in with all your other fun stitchings that you're gonna do all the way around. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pretty much just keep doing the same thing and get this all just stitched down so I can take out my needles, and I'm just gonna do it all the way around. So I'm just gonna keep going like this, do a little back stitch, pop up about an inch, and go like that. And then I could just take these out, the ones that, so there we go. So I'm gonna just continue and do that all the way around. got all this done. You could see, I zoomed you guys in so I can show you guys the stitches here, but I don't want you to be blurry. But I was trying to see the stitches. You can see how they go all the way around. And the stitches on the back are wider, like longer. So, and then you got all the invisible stitches on the front, so you can't even see them. So that makes it nice. Okay. So now I want to show you guys, let's do a couple stitches here. Let's do the cross stitch, which can be an X or, you know, a plus sign, either or. So now I'm just using my embroidery floss, just DMC, just embroidery cotton. Okay. And let's just start wherever you want. And I'm just going up and then down. And then you just go over to the other side right here, and you can just make a plus sign, just as easy as that. So make sure you guys can see here. But you can see, you can either be a plus sign or an X, whichever. And you just do that all the way across. So this is the cross stitch. So there we go. Okay, so you can see I just went ahead and just did just a little cross stitch all the way until my thread ran out, and then I just tied it on the back. So I like to go in sections, but you know, you can do however you want. I mean, like here I didn't do sections, I just kind of did a little bit and then did some running stitch and then cross stitch and then a little running stitch, and then I kind of mixed it in between here like that, cross stitch and running stitch. So I mean, it just depends on how you want to do it. And then like here I stayed all in the same. So just depending on how you want to do it. Now I'll show you guys just a running stitch. Okay, we'll just start here. And maybe we'll go this way. Okay, that goes underneath there. Okay, so you just take it and pop up, and you just go about millimeter over, quarter of an inch or so, and then just, you can take it and pop up like this, and then pull it through. You can go down and then pop it up. So depending on how even you want them, or how uneven, or if you care about that or anything, you just kind of, depends on where you want to pop your needle back up to line everything up. So that's definitely one way to do a running stitch, is this way. Okay, where you just go like that, and you don't have to go back and forth. But then there's the stab method, where you go down and then back up, and then down like that. So those are the two different ways to do that, okay? So that's how you do that. So that is running stitch. Now I want to show you guys how to do a seed stitch and a double seed stitch. Okay, so that's what these are right here. And I got a darker thread, and I'm using 3 strands is what I'm using. So now with a seed stitch, you just do little stitches like this. And you just do them randomly. So however you want to do it. And you try not to make them like parallel or line up, or you kind of just want them roughly the same size and just sporadic. So like you drop some seeds or rice, or little bits like that. So they're just kind of that size, like a grain of rice. But they call them seed stitches. So you just go like this and just do it random. And I like to stay, where I'm not like doing one way down here, just kind of stay in the vicinity of where you kind of ended the other one, just so you're not wasting so much thread. Okay. So just roughly, however you want to do it, but this is just supposed to be, you just kind of just relax your mind and just don't really think about it too much, and just do the journey. You know, don't overthink it. Like, all this is supposed to be relaxing and just, you know, fun. That's the goal here, is to just kind of go on this little journey and see where it takes you, because you never know. Okay, so I'm just gonna randomly do these like that. Okay, so this is just the seed stitch. So just like that. All right, so now I'll show you guys a double seed stitch. Let me go ahead and just tie this off real quick, because then I can come back and do this section later if I want to keep that just the regular seed stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to move down a little bit and show you guys the double seed stitch. I'll start down here. So those are a little more uniform, where you're going to want to just pop one up here, do them roughly the same size. And you just go right beside it. So you're just doing them parallel to each other. So like if you go this way with it, then you want two of them. And then if you turn it, which these should just be random, but two right by each other. So then it makes it look really cool. So then you do the one here, and then just do another one the same way, just like that. Like that. And you can do one right here beside it. Okay, and then you want to just kind of go random here, so you can go sideways. And one right beside it. Like that. So there we go. So this is a double seed stitch. So you're just doing them right by each other. So just like that. And then the last stitch I want to show you guys here is, I have no idea what the name of it is, but I'm calling it like a chicken foot stitch, because it kind of looks like a little chicken foot. And that's great to do through like your laces and stuff. So I'm just going to grab something here, maybe a darker one you can see. Okay. And it just makes a fun little, just decorative stitch that you can work around. I mean, you could do it in the corners and stuff. You can do it in different places throughout here. But I'm going to show you guys here on the lace part. Let's just start in the middle. Go right here. And we're just going to pop up through. Do this one a little longer in the middle. Okay. There we go. And just go through the same hole at the bottom. And go over just a little bit, like that. There we go. And then just roughly the same hole. I mean, I even went right beside it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then just do that the same length as this one on the right hand. Just do the same length on the left hand side. And then there you go. It's a little chicken foot. That's what it looks like. So let's do that again. We'll do one here. Let's pop that one up a little longer. Okay. And then just roughly the same hole. Go a little bit lower and over a little bit. Like that. And do the same. And then over to the left here. So there. So that's just a fun little decorative stitch. Okay, so those are all the stitches that I'm going to incorporate throughout and put them wherever you want and organize them however you want, and you just have fun with it. And I will be back when I have it all stitched together, and then we'll do some couching with our threads.